All right, let's take a look at what is happening in the markets, and we start off with the local bourse. That did get a handover. That was a rally from the Asian markets overnight, and of course that benefited the local bourse. Locally, investors are chewing on some economic data, including manufacturing and mining data from May, in which we did see a decrease there in one of them, and one of them was flat. I will get you more of that information later. But we are seeing those markets are quite positive today, with the all share up more than an eighth of a percent, a tenth of a percent rather. We are seeing those gains largely coming from the financial 15 with an advancement there of almost 1.5%, followed by the industrial 25 there climbing 0.9%, and the resources 10 complex there ticking up higher by almost 0.5%. Let's take a look at what is happening in the U.S. markets. And of course, we did have quite a strong rally yesterday. The S&P 500 reaching its 37th record close yesterday, and the NASDAQ its 27th record close. Though we are seeing quite a pullback there. Quite surprising considering that we did have the inflation figure for June coming out with an acceleration at a slower pace in June at 3% compared to the 3.3% that we did see in the previous month. So S&P 500 there declining almost 0.75%. The tech-heavy NASDAQ leading in the losses, they're down almost 1.5%, but the Dow backing that overall trend with a gain of 0.14%. Let's take a look at what is happening in the European markets and across the Atlantic. Quite positive sentiment on that front. FTSE 100 up by more than 0.33%. The CAC 40 climbing by almost 0.9%, and the DAX up by almost a similar margin. Let's take a look at what is happening on the currency scene, and we start off with how the rand is doing against some of the major currencies. Significant strength coming through to the rand. We did see it below that 18 rand level against the US dollar at some point, now literally at that level. Against the pound at 23 rand 26, and against the euro at 19 rand 57. Let's take a look at what is happening with the other currency pairs, starting off with the euro dollar at 1.08, pound dollar at 1.29, and the yen actually quite strong against the US dollar now, just above 158 against that currency. Of course, that coming from just under 162.